Yeah, I had to be muted. You guys knew I had to be muted. Luckily, I really didn't say anything that was all that important. But what I am saying is this: I've got a camera right here, and then I got a camera over here. So this one for this one, but it looks like it's working out pretty good. So I like what's happening here. But guys, so many things. Well, before we even get into that, let's just get into this. What's going on, Bama? Welcome to the stream. Extreme Frost, what is going on? Welcome to the stream, brother Logan. Welcome to the stream. King Sam in the house. Nightbot doing this thing too. Watch out. Brian, what is happening? Welcome to the stream, brother. Prime time. What is going on? Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that stuff too. That is what a lot of this stuff is about, is kind of talking through some of the stuff. Let me see too if we can get, I think I changed my spreadsheet scene. No, I didn't. Spreadsheet's still there. But let me see if I could just switch something up here real quick. Instead of doing that, what if I can do this for right now? There we go. There we go. Just kind of look, yeah, there we go. That's what we want to do. Except now, nope, still over here, perfect. So many things came out yesterday, and I just kind of wanted to wait because we're going to talk about the island too. But I just kind of wanted to wait to talk about this a little bit, and I wanted to think about kind of the stuff that's going on. But this, for universe mode, look, we never get any love in universe mode. We just don't. It's like the same wore down, retread, this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, I didn't. I saw the things. I didn't see his promo. But looking at universe mode, we're getting some things finally that we've been waiting to get. There's going to be some things that aren't so good. And look, the promos, I said it right up front, the promos aren't going to be done well this year. They're not. And this is like a double-edged sword. The promos aren't being done well this year, but not for the reasons that I think you think. Now, we haven't played it, but there's no dialogue box, right? And they're like, oh, but the announcers do so well at telling it. Perfect, because we don't listen to the announcers. You know what I mean? Most of us, even if we have channels, we do our own announcing. So doesn't matter so much about that as far as what's going on or what's not happening there. So I'm fine with that. My problem is the promos are put into, and that's the first thing we're going to talk about. That's why we're talking about it now. So it's a good segue. But the promos are put into the cutscenes, into rivalry actions. So let's kind of scroll down here and see what is going on with this. New contents. But look, promos. So you kind of see on your screen right here how it's set up. You know, I'm going to win my next match. I'll pull off a win. So what will happen is she comes down to the ring for this particular thing. This looks like a self-promo, and we'll talk about the different promos that are out there. But she comes down to the ring. She goes through the motions, so the announcer really is going to have to be the one like saying, oh, Liv's talking about this and da-da-da-da-da, and she's tired of the disrespect. You know what I mean? However you do it as an announcer, but the announcer, whoever is doing the announcing, is going to have to be the one really that is doing the stuff. So, and that's kind of what the screen looks like when it pops up. I heard it's done really well as far as the flow of things. But you have self-promos. Now, you have 5 different versions of the promos, is what this is saying. You have self-promos, you have call-outs, you have promo interrupt. You have the superstar throws out a challenge, and you have accept an open challenge. So under self-promos, these create challenges for superstars to fulfill in their next match and gives the rival a reason to interfere. Succeeding rewards the players with benefits, but failing the challenges impose penalties. Challenges can be viewed in the rivalry overall. Now, let's just stop because we're saying rivalry. Let's talk about one other downfall to this. It's still 1v1 and 2v2 with the rivalries. That sucks. But whatever, like, we're used to it. I'm fine with it because of what they're adding in. And if you look into, before we get too deep into this, if you look at the promos and what has been happening with the promos, go back to the start of everything that they first put in. You go back to the GM mode. So GM mode comes out, and then what do? It's bare bones. We're like, this is crap, but at least it's in the game. Then the next year they build upon it. I think it's going to be the same for promos, and I say think because it's in the rivalry system. And in 2K24, we had problems with the rivalry actions happening. Anything where a guy was supposed to come down and interrupt in the middle of the match doesn't work. Absolutely doesn't work. If it's the people in the match, yeah, it might trigger, but it doesn't necessarily work if it's somebody that was supposed to come down and interfere in the match. So hopefully they got that fixed. If they got it fixed, this should be okay. We'll see. The only other part of this promo before we get to the rest of it that I don't like is because it's a rivalry action, it technically takes up a spot on your card. So now if I really wanted, let's say I wanted somebody to come out and throw down a challenge to another person and they come down and they talk and they do whatever, that's fine, but that takes up a spot, even if there's not a match involved. In the old system, and I really like this and I much prefer this, I could say to open my show, boom, I put a promo spot. At the back of match 4, boom, I put a promo spot. At the end of, right before the main event, boom, I want a promo spot. And so I could put them in there. You know what I mean? Where you can't really say it now or do it now. So that's the down part of the promos. What this is doing, if this works, will work even better than the old promo system, though, to be fair. So it's like 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, and you got to keep in mind, first year coming back, bare bones, right? So you do bad, it gets bad. You get the penalties imposed. You do good, you get the rewards. Challenges can be viewed in the rivalry overview before starting a match, during the gameplay, and in the rivalry info tab. Now, one of the things that's going to be really interesting is, again, I haven't got my hands on it, but from all the footage, and I've watched hours of footage that I've seen, it looks like everything is set up much better as far as the menus laid out. Like even in, which I think we'll see here in a little bit, but even in your base screen, everything is right there. Like you don't have to go in sub menus to find things. It's right there, which is really, really good. And then challenges include winning a match, winning by submission, winning with high health. That's pretty cool. Winning under 5 minutes. If you remember, that's a thing in the WWE. At least it used to be. Winning the last rivalry match. Hopefully that matters because we've done it and it hasn't. And then with higher rewards for more difficult challenges. Then you got the call out. The call out, the superstar calls out their rival to the ring, who can either respawn, pull a no-show, or a confrontation can lead to a future one-on-one match, no match at all, an immediate one-on-one match, or a brawl. So that's really cool. So the thing that I like about this, and this is the thing that I wish you had the option to do with the other rivalry actions, the thing that I wish you could do, this can escalate, and based on how you do the promos, it can go one of a few ways, one of 4 ways in that one. So just think about this. You put this in, and you're going to have somebody call out another superstar. Immediately, you've got this branch where it branches off to where they can no show, or they can respond. Now they respond, okay? So you choose, you want them to respond. So they come down to the ring, they respond, and now it's got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches. It could turn into a brawl. It could turn into an immediate one-on-one match. So now when you do things like, if you're an E-Federation out there that chooses to do storylines, it's not just fighting, but you're choosing to do like a real wrestling show with storylines. And not that just with storylines is a real wrestling show, but if you're choosing to give that like TV style presentation, you now can really control how this interaction is going to go. What if we got, let's use Rowdy and Totes. Rowdy and Totes. Let's say Totes goes down to the ring and he calls out Rowdy. He's like, Rowdy, get down here. We're gonna do the thing. I would bet you Rowdy wouldn't come down to the ring. Like, knowing Rowdy's character, more than likely Rowdy wouldn't even come down to the ring. Not because he's scared, because he's going to troll you. You know what I mean? So this is one more thing that will add in some of the personality of the wrestlers. We have a really cool storyline that's going to be happening, and I put it off once I started seeing some of the stuff that was coming out. I've even put off doing a show. We were going to do a show right now, but I'm like, we're missing so many things that we could do to progress some really cool stories we got going on right now, that it makes sense to just wait. We'll do the creation stream, and I don't know that we'll wait, but episode 100 might be a good place to wait for the year. You know what I mean? You can do a promo interrupt. The superstar walks in on a rival's promo, which can lead to a one-on-one match, no match, immediate match, or brawl. You can issue an open challenge. The superstar throws out an open challenge to any superstar, and the player will not know who their opponent is until their match entrance. A win provides benefits, while defeat imposes penalties. Or you can accept an open challenge. A superstar answers an open challenge from the rival with benefits and penalties depending on a win or loss. So it's really cool that they got this here. I don't know until we actually play it how it's going to go. You know what I mean? But I'm very happy it's here. So this is the thing. The next thing we're about to talk about, if you guys haven't heard about this or don't understand what it means, hold on to your britches. We asked for something. I'll show you what we asked for. We asked for a pay-per-view to be able to be a 2-night thing. So pay-per-views, by the way our calendar works, only go on Sundays. And we said, hey, let us have another show here on Saturday. Like SummerSlam this year is going to be a 2-night event. Let us have that. And they said, oh no, oh no, oh no. And this is going to be my biggest point. Everybody's complaining that they separated. And don't get me wrong, I took resources. That's my only problem. It took resources from current gen consoles. But because current gen consoles and last gen consoles are separated, look at the state of what we're getting. Oh, you think you can only put 2 shows on one night? You can put 3 shows on one night, and that's what I want to talk about. What is going on, Digital? Welcome to the stream, brother. You can put 3 shows on one night. So think about this. Before, I deleted all of the WWE shows because we've got our own things going on. Like, I'll just show you. I'll jump into Universe real quick. I'll jump into our calendar. We'll take a peek at our calendar real quick, and then we'll come back to here. So you can see this is our calendar right here. And in our calendar, it's funny, the totes thing is up. But in our calendar, I had to delete every show. So now we have Thursday night, we have TWC Friday night. We have the 2 minor shows, and then we have the Monday Night Wars where we get to wrestle against old WWE, WCW, ECW, like the older type wrestlers, or current wrestlers, right? So, but that's it. That's all you can have. No, like nothing else can be done right there. Now you look at it, and down here you've got Raw. You have NXT on Tuesday. Nothing on Wednesday, nothing on Thursday, nothing on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So now if we wanted, we could leave all of the WWE stuff right there. We could then take WCW programming, right? And then just make it all the old WCW guys and just put it in all the right spots. Monday night Nitro, Thursday Thunder, Saturday Night Wrestling, and all their pay-per-views in the correct spots. And then we could take our calendar and superimpose it all over the whole thing too. Because you can have up to 3 shows now on one night. So if you look down here where it says Bash at Berlin, it says 2 of 2 because right there, that's the second of the 2 shows because they've got the WWE Saturday Night Wrestling. But now they have Bash at Berlin, and then the next day is the NXT No Mercy. Up here, they have SummerSlam Night 1 and SummerSlam Night 2. And you would think that with a 2-day pay-per-view event, you would really have to be the one because people would spill over. No, if you have a big enough roster, it won't. It recognizes that SummerSlam, that particular pay-per-view event, is going to be a 2-night event, and it will split the rosters between the 2 nights and the matches between the 2 nights. Let that soak in for a second. Next part. Remember how, like I just showed you on ours, we only do the Monday Night Wars every other week? But it's a weekly show on our calendar because there's no way for me to make it every other week. I just skip a show and make sure that like there's no title matches or anything involved. Now you can put a pay-per-view event on any night of the week. You can put a major show in any night of the week. You could put a minor show on any night of the week. So just think, if you really wanted to go back and create like the Attitude Era, that's what I'm saying, Frost, so much potential. If you wanted to go back and create the Attitude Era, you could have WCW programming, WWE programming, and ECW programming, all on the same calendar, all in the same universe, all doing the thing. Which is what's made me even think about leaving on Raw, and you can choose which shows take precedence over the other one, like which one really shows up on the calendar so you don't have to dig. You can dig for any one of them, but where you can go in and what show. So, of course, ours would be the ones that show on the calendar overall, over everyone's. And then just let the computer play out the WWE and the WCW guys. So take, the Hogans and the Stings and the Lex Lugers and, Mr. Perfect. Like you can just put them all there. You could make a Legends type of a show where it's just all the legends. So you can have the current day people. You could have a Legends kind of show where they can do whatever they want to do, and then have our shows. So yeah, it's like there's just so many things you can do. To be fair, it's unbelievable. So multiple shows assigned across to each day with a maximum of 3 shows. So 3 shows on Monday night, you certainly do so. You could even play up the ratings war. You know what I mean? It's almost like having a MyGM mode. It's almost combining MyGM into this. And you can combine it however you want. Like Sunday, you can have a regular show on Sundays now if you wanted. So absolutely crazy. Yeah, major and minor shows are now eligible to be assigned to Sunday. PLEs Monday through Saturday. Like, another cool addition is PLEs can run 2 days. So if you want to mimic the 2-night WrestleMania or SummerSlams, you can set them up that way. If you set up a 2-night PLE, below are some available options and parameters. With a 2-day, day 2 of a PLE can assign to any day up to 4 weeks after day 1. So your PLE 2-day event doesn't necessarily have to be back-to-back nights. You know what I mean? Which is going to bring us into another thing here in a second. And, well, let's just talk about it now. You can now do, I don't know if you can do tournaments overall, but you can now do King of the Ring. And it will set up, that tournament will set up over your shows and culminate at the pay-per-view event. We'll see if it talks about it in here. But matchmaking will be split across both days of a 2-day PLE, with rosters being spread out over both nights. So you cannot double book the same superstar unless you don't have enough superstars. The number of matches will also affect both nights. For example, if you set up a show to have 7 matches, that means that both nights will feature 7 matches for a total of 14 matches. PLEs can now be swapped with other PLEs on the calendar and via the edit menu. Shows can be moved to different days. That's another thing. If you wanted to move, it used to be like if you wanted to move Raw to Wednesday, you had to delete Raw on Monday, recreate it on Wednesday. You lose all the progress and all the things. Now you don't have to do that. Now you can literally just move Raw to Wednesday, and it saves all of the stuff. The show stays the same. I mean, it's just another crazy thing. Another addition to Universe Calendar is the support of tournament PLEs like King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. In these tournaments, 8 superstars will host from host shows take place in a series of one-on-one matches where the winner of each match advances and the loser is eliminated. The winner of the final match of the official tournament is awarded and guaranteed a title match at SummerSlam. So there's part of it where I'm like, God, I'm gonna have to have like a SummerSlam and a WrestleMania. I'm just gonna have to try to brand them a little different, you know what I mean? But so we'll see what happens when we get into this. This new tournament show format is available for creating your custom PLE by using the Queen of the Ring PLE template. So again, tournaments are back. Just whatever it's going to be called. Like, it might be called the Queen of the Ring, but maybe we call it something else. You know what I mean? Who knows? Team management. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I did 2 years ago, before 2K22 dropped, I did a whole video. It's in the video, not the live stream section. I did a whole video on what they're talking about right now. I'm not saying, oh, I'm the one who came up with it. That's not what I'm saying. But I did a whole video that laid this out. Like, why can't we have more than 5 people in? Now, I don't know if you can do more or less or whatever. But in a normal faction, now that we're looking at the OG Bloodline, if you wanted Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn to also be tag partners, you couldn't do it. It didn't let you do it. So that means inside one faction, you could only have one tag team. They both had to be in the tag slots. And that was it. If the other 2 guys ended up, like, let's say Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, if they won the tag titles, you've seen it happen in our universe, because they'll win the titles, and then because they're not in the tag slots, it vacates the titles the next day when you go to advance. It shows that they won the titles, and then it shows that the titles were vacated. Now it won't do that anymore. What I'm hoping, and we don't know because we didn't play it, but what I'm hoping happens is we can now take we could take multiple, like 3 or 4 tag teams, say it's the OG Bloodline, and assign them to them. And we'll see. I think there's a better screenshot of what this looks like up in here. But you can see now team roles, right? So you have Roman Reigns, he's in the singles. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso are in the tag. Sami Zayn, he wants to be in the singles. And then you have Paul Heyman, who's the manager. So now, too, it'll finally recognize Paul Heyman as the manager. What I've had to do before is leave the managers out, because it would always try to count them as a wrestler. Team members can also now have customized roles within a team. You can, okay, and this is the other question I had. I didn't read this part. Universe will see the inclusion of a new tag team, or of a new team management system, whereas players can assign superstars to multiple teams. And so I think they'll show it here in a second. No, it doesn't look like it. But it'll say, like, you could take the Kabuki Warriors and assign them to the Bloodline if you wanted. So they'll still be the Kabuki Warriors, but they will be under the Bloodline. You know what I mean? So pretty cool. Singles prioritizes for singles and free-for-all matches. Tag prioritizes 2-person matches and eligible for the tag team division championships and another tag rolled team member. Trio prioritized for 3-person team matches. Quad prioritized for 4-person team matches. Manager prioritizes the manager for fellow team members' matches. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't know about the trio and the quad thing. I haven't read through this part of the report. I've only seen the different videos. So teams are now also support lineups for stables of 3 or more members. These lineups are smaller groups within a large team and can have their own unique names, ring announcements, crowd reactions, entrances, victories, and roles that are different from their base team. When creating a new lineup, by default, it will inherit its base team setting as a starting point, but it can be edited. So, like, there's so many possibilities of exactly what that could mean. I've seen screenshots where it shows the Bloodline and then it shows Tama Tonga and whoever else, but shows their tag team under it. It shows another group under it. So it sounds like this will make it so you could have more than 5 members if you had the one slot and then you had more teams that were assigned underneath the base team. So you could have, like what we're used to, you could have the NWO, then assigned to the NWO, you have the Outsiders. Maybe, you know, Hogan's in the base team, but now you got the Outsiders. Maybe DX comes, now they're under the NWO, and so D-Generation X, maybe their 3 members now go underneath that. But yeah, absolutely crazy. Matchmaking and intergender. Now, I do know you can turn on or off intergender matches in your game. So in this year's game, we've revamped matchmaking for better stability and reliability. And I'm telling you, I think that's what's going to happen on current gen consoles. Current gen consoles are going to be a lot more stable this year because of the stuff that they've done. So very, very interesting. What's going on, Wally? Welcome to the stream, brother. Sentinel, what's happening, my man? Welcome to the stream. Also included is a new scoring and sorting system during match card generation. The new system takes multiple factors of each match into consideration, such as the overall rating of the superstars involved or whether the match is for a world title and more, to curate the card while prioritizing the biggest matchups for the main event and opening matches of the show, like they should do. But it's funny, if you went in right now, and just opened up your match card, they don't ever necessarily make sense. Like, even if it's good matches, they don't technically put them in the right spots where you would want them. So That's good. We'll see how that works. But the fact that they're even trying anything, that's got to make it better. Match tables have also gotten a new main event tab. That's finally. Allowing more customization when you want to earmark a certain type or subset of matches to pick from as the final match of a show. If the main event match table is empty, the standard match table will be used to determine the main event instead. But see, I go through, and you guys are going to see this. Maybe we don't see it on Friday. Maybe we do. Who knows? Maybe we don't see it on Friday. But we are going to blank a universe mode and fix it. Just like we have to every year. We'll get in there and see what we have to do and why we got to do it and how, if we could do what on the win with the Witchadiges, right? But we will get in and we will do it to mess around with some of that stuff. I think the title belts are going to look phenomenal this year too. We'll see. Universe will have the support of new match types introduced, like the Underground and the Bloodline rules match. Alongside the new Brawl environments. With the inclusion of intergender matches in 2K25, Universe also supports it, which is an option that can be toggled on or off. Now, again, we're probably not going to see a bunch of different intergender matches, but I guarantee we'll see some. There's things that will make sense at one point. And then we'll have a title, and I fought myself over this for a while, because I'm like, gosh, we have X number of male subscribers and X number of female subscribers. It's not proportionate, right? So, like, who gets to win the title belt? Well, it'd be the men, and then later on I'd buy one for the women, and the women have their matches too. But now, because it's going to be a tournament-style match, now women can opt in or out. But now it'd be fine. Now we have it, and we're doing a tournament-style match. We'll treat it not like wrestling, not like in our universe. It'll be outside of our universe, so it'll be something different. But, we'll treat it like Street Fighter, where there'll be some men and some women, like however that hooks up, and we'll go from there. So that's the idea right now. Who knows? We'll see as it moves forward. So it says, when enabled, players can create intergender matches, non-title, and set up rivalries. There's also an option for an intergender division, which opens up capabilities of having an intergender championship and allows players to include superstars from the men's and the women's division to compete for that title. There's still so much to do in Universe Mode, and we can't wait for players to dive in. March 7th, Deadman Edition. March 14th for the Standard Edition. March 7th for the Bloodline Edition. So that wraps up that particular ringside report. But that's huge, guys. I know it's not like a long list of features for Universe Mode, but it is so big. So, very big additions, very, very good stuff going on with that. I wonder if I click this button. No. I just wanted to try something. Yeah, that worked. So that's good. So let's go in here, because it's been a second since we've talked about any of them. Yeah, look, there's Showcase in My Rise. I don't want to talk about any of that. The Island, we talked about the districts. We talked about all this stuff. But now people have actually got to play the Island, and they say it's a lot of fun. Some positive now things from the Island is on 2K... NBA 2K, it costs anywhere from $100 to $120 to get your superstar up to 99. On the island, apparently it's going to cost, they say between 30 and 50. It's probably cost $50 to get your superstar up there. That's not even where the big money is. They said that, and there's no proof of this anywhere, nobody really knows, but they say more than likely things like if there are hair locked behind the island, usually it's not for money. That's one of the things that isn't for VC. So inside the island, there's going to be things that you can play if you want that would unlock certain different parts. And one of those parts is like the hair items that are in there or things of that nature. And I'm hoping it's not that many. Again, and I keep saying this year's like what I would call the trap year. They're going to trap you this year. To get to 99, the price is going to be lower. Now, to buy a jacket, it's not. Like they even showed, like they were showing the prices. I was like, it's stupid. My guy is going to look like Steve Austin on the island. Black little tights, black knee pads, maybe one black elbow pad. That's it. Black boots. That's Totes My Goats on the island. That's all you get. I have a problem when you're talking about spending money on the island and none of it carries over to next year anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that I expect it to carry over, but then you get nothing else out of it. Now, you spend 4,000 hours in the island, it might be worth it. You know what I mean? You're talking about playtime, enjoyment time to money spent, then yeah, maybe it's worth it. They say, one creator said you can upload island parts in community creations. The other one says it's not possible. So one almost did, but I think it's because of the build they were on. The other one didn't, or said that you can't, but I think he talked to one of the devs who said, no, it's not going to be a thing. So even if you own the part and you put it on your wrestler, it won't allow you to upload that to another, to community creation. So, which is good. That's absolutely good. That means as long as they keep that rule in place, it almost protects the integrity of community creations. And I don't mean like, oh, then I couldn't download things. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is then they shouldn't be locking things that from community creations behind the island because you can't upload it through community creation. So hopefully hopefully that never moves. Look, I don't have a problem with them charging VC for Jordans and for, whatever, name brand gear. I have zero problem with that. They shouldn't be locking hairstyles, though. They shouldn't be locking anything when it comes to parts to create your wrestler. They want to like lock crazy masks, behind the whatever, then fine. But it shouldn't be Rey Mysterio's mask. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be any of the WWE stuff. If you want to lock branded items behind the island, I'm fine with that. That has never been my problem. I won't buy them. I bought a crap ton in NBA 2K year 1. Way less in year 2, not in year 3, and I just quit playing. I'm just like, because what happens is, and it's the same here from what they've said, when you go in and play a match, like, I don't know what it is to complete a mission or one of those things, whatever they call that. I don't know what it is for that. But I know when you go in to just play a match, there are moves and things that you can perform that get you more VC. If you do all of them, you get about 100 VC, 120 VC. The lowest priced mask is 6,000 VC. How many matches do you have to waste your time on to get the lowest price mask? That's the grind that I'm not going to put up with. I'm not doing it. I did it in the NBA thing. I think it's fine if the price, and I don't understand this. If this is true, I don't understand why it cost $50 to upgrade to a 99. And look, I don't even think it's that bad. I think it should be $30, but whatever. If it was $30 to get one of my guys up to a 99, okay, I'd probably pay it. But that's this year, and that's what I call the trap year. But they still don't even have the marketplace set the right way for the island, for the other stuff, for the apparel. That's not even set the right way. I'm not paying $18 for a stupid jacket. I'm not doing it. Like, that makes no sense. For a little digital jacket, I'm paying $18 for it? It's your money. Do what you want. I'm not doing it. That's just dumb. I don't even see the value in that. Now, hey, $2 for a jacket, 99 cents for a jacket. Maybe. You know what I mean? But I'm just not doing it. What's going on, Shockwave? Welcome to this. Yeah, 40, 50 matches. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's the grind that I'm not going to get in. What's going on, Matt Storm? Welcome to the stream, brother. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, you got to unlock badges, you got to unlock this, you got to unlock that. Like, I have no problem with the game. It sounds fun. If you, like, I don't really play the game like that, but, like, it sounds fun. I don't have any problem with what they're doing. I don't have any problem with them trying to make money. But get it right. I just paid $140 with tax for this game. So get it right. You're telling me that $140 for the game, you're going to give me about 110 VC, and that's still $140 still doesn't get, even though it comes with the game, comes with all the stuff, right? But it takes about 150,000 VC to get your guy to 99. Now, they're not going to be 99 in all categories. But let's just look at this. Since we're in Rome, right? When in Rome, shoot the Romans. If I was to buy a VC pack right now, yeah, see, that's why they say for 187,000 VC, which if it costs 57 VC or 150,000 VC, it would cost $50. Yeah, $50. And I'd get 187,500 VC. The next lowest one is $20 for 67.5. I had to buy two of them, and I still wouldn't make it. So $50 to max out your thing, and then you get like 27,000 VC left over. So $50. That's not bad. $120, like, that's getting ridiculous, but whatever. So, but there's also the badges. Like, there's so many things. They've put so many things, so you'll have the 99 guys, but if you don't have the right badges also, like, there's going to be builds, you know, and that even the content creators start talking, well, you know, this isn't going to be my build. I haven't talked about build yet. Like, this is a fighting game, because that's what it's set up as on the island. And you can grind for it. But again, if most things cost VC, including the upgrades to your character, and you get about 120 VC per match, that's not hard to figure out. Let's just do the math real quick on my phone. 150,000 divided by 120. That's 1,250 matches, if that's what you want to do on the island. Now, another positive thing for the island is my faction and the island will share VC, so the whole game will share VC. Now, if the whole game shared VC and you got VC for everything you did in the game, if you got VC for playing universe mode, if you got VC, whether it was AIA, it doesn't matter. If you got VC because, like, you're spending hours on the game, if you got VC for doing things inside My Rise, inside Showcase, inside GM mode, inside universe mode, if you got VC for playing Just normal games outside of all of it. Just playing your standard game. Maybe. You know what I mean? But I'm only going to get VC for being either inside my faction, which nobody likes. Raise your hand for all you my faction guys who love it. You love my faction, you can't get enough of it. I would keep waiting, except I know the answer. Nobody. So, or playing inside the island. But you don't get VC for doing everything. It's only in those two places. So now, why? You know what I mean? I'm back to the why. Yeah, see, look, nobody does. I even tried this year to like just go in and do some things. I even chipped in $9 for some VC, or spent $10 for some VC when the Wolfpack stuff came out, and then realized that's just a gambling thing. Like, I couldn't just spend $10 and get the Wolfpack people. There's only two I really wanted that made the game. I thought would make our universe a little better, but yeah, see, Shockwave doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Most of us don't. Most of us are in here for one reason, and that's to do what we do in our e-federations. So that's the part. Now, there's good things and bad things again with my faction. I'm not saying, oh, it's all bad and blah, blah, and that's how it goes and in your face. They say some of this stuff is like really super cool. It's like one of the most creative places that they've seen where they've got to come in and, you know, create the different things inside here. So, you know, that's cool. We've got online, I've saved the video, but on YouTube, What's the Status has done some things where he's showing all the creation parts. It's like an hour and some change. So I typically don't have that much time in my day to see what I'm about to see on Friday. Hey, thanks, Digital. Appreciate you buying your ticket, brother. Oh, no. I don't know anybody that digs it. I know people online who pretend to dig it, and I think they're trolling. I know Saudi princes that buy that stuff, you know, and keep everything super out of whack as far as the real, where the real market should lie. I know plenty of those people. But I don't know anybody who really likes it. Like, I don't know, like I know Shockwave. Shockwave doesn't like it. Blaze doesn't like it. Solo. I'm serious. I don't know anybody that I normally talk to that like it. I know people that play it because they're bored. I know those people. And I think more people will play the island. If you can earn VC faster in my faction, and the island's the thing that you're trying to do, you might go play my faction. Because I know the VC gets shared across both those platforms. So, but yeah, as far as though just like straight up doing the thing, like, oh, we love it, we can't get enough of this my faction thing. Let's play as much my faction as we can. No, I don't know any of those people. Hold on, let me look at ringside. Let's talk about this too. Let's talk about the roster. You know, for most of us, the roster technically does not matter. I was hoping the ringside report had some other things in here because there are some other things that we know, and I'm shocked that it's not in here. You now have different archetypes. So I thought, you guys have heard me talk about the giant thing. I thought you would have a cruiserweight, like it would it would go off your weight and throw you into that category. That is not the case. You know how you have... What's going on, Herbie? Welcome to the stream, brother. Yeah, that's what I mean. I wanted Big Papa Pump unlocked. I wanted some things, so I played a few things. I never got them. I got other things, but never got him. So, yeah, so I know people that play it, but I don't know anybody that likes it. Yeah, which there's typically, that's about normal for the game. The neat thing about the moves and the roster is this. Most of us don't give two rats behinds if these guys are in the game, any of them, to be fair. Most of our E-Federations are based on cause. Some people's aren't, and so I'm sure some people care. But I care. When they tell me that there's over 300 people in the game, that means we have more. Boy, that's a weird little thing that just happened there. Shouldn't be like that. Weird. But we have more. You guys can still see the roster. Yeah, you can. I'm looking at it too. But we have more entrance types. We have more entrance motions. We have more of that stuff. So that's why I care when these guys are in here. Yeah, it's not even a grind kind of thing. It is a grind, period. Like a grind from hell. And that's what I'm out on. If the grind makes sense, it's fun. I stopped playing the Division because the grind didn't make sense anymore. I'm back to playing it right now. Because, like, I'm not saying it makes sense, but, like, having some fun playing it. So we're back to playing some Division. Speaking of that, if you guys aren't subscribed to this channel, I don't mean the Totes My Goats channel. But the one that says this one, Totes My Goats Championship Wrestling, Totes Championship Wrestling, we're probably going to change the name to that, and that's where I'm going to start playing other games. It's my other channel. So yeah, jump on there if you guys would. If you guys want to see other stuff. Might start playing some Division on there. Might do some shooter stuff. And I plan on deleting almost all the stuff off this channel. As far as that's not wrestling. You can go back a little bit and see some stuff that that's not wrestling. But let's look at the legends. So this is kind of cool. Alpha, very first time in. Alundra Blaze. She's back finally. It's weird. Like, I love old wrestling, but like there's certain ones in here like Billy Graham. I don't care either way. Of course, we want Bret Hart. Always want the best Booker T's that are out there. Bruno Sammartino, that's another one. It's almost like the baseball records. Bruno Sammartino, like these guys, he's champion for 97 years. Yeah, okay, but it's not that impressive to me. The modern style thing, like I'm more impressed with what Roman and Cody has done holding on the belts because people have shorter attention spans. So now being able to hold on to the belt for that long in the shorter style belt runs, the WWE is trying to bring back those longer styles, but whatevs. The Dudley Boys, they stay in. DDP. So you can see there's a lot of cool stuff. Eve Torres stays in. Eddie Guerrero, Farouk. This is why I wish they had Bradshaw, not JBL, Bradshaw. The APA version of that. Head Shrinkers are in. Haku, or Ming, as he was known in the WCW. I never liked this version of Bradshaw. Like the JBL version, I was just like, whatever. Whatevs. Nash, Anvil, Kurt Angle, love it that he's in. Lita. And then you have all these guys' movesets. I wish, instead of Mr. Perfect, I really wish that was Kurt Angle. Or, I mean, Kurt Hennig. I wish they would update Randy Savage's model. It doesn't even look like Randy Savage. It looks like an old guy who was homeless for a while. didn't get any kind of showers or baths, and then all of a sudden he got a new home, and then they kicked him back out again. Like they got him all fattened back up, and then they kicked him back out again. And he's like right in that in-between period. That's what Randy Savage's model looks like. And it's sad because I love Randy Savage. But you guys don't even see me play with him in the game because it looks that bad. It looks bad enough that our cause look better than he does. That's when you know you've got a problem. Rosie in the game. That's pretty cool. Sensational Sherry is back. Different version of Tamina. Funk, the Great Muda, The Rock, plus the final boss. We've seen that. So yeah, there's some. Michelle McCool is coming back. We still don't. I don't think we even know what the DLCs are going to look like quite yet. There's some people like I don't think Carmella's even in the WWE anymore, but or if she is, she's not doing anything, but she's in the game. So there's actually like 15 superstars that shouldn't be in the game, but they're not necessarily with another promotion. So it's like inconsequential, or they went to TNA, which now they're back apart. And so then I think, okay, well, now you can be used in the game. Big E, of course, with his injury, hasn't been in wrestling for a while. What's really neat is these models look more updated now. And not only that, not only do they look more updated, I'm glad Kairi Sane's in the game. The hit detection in this game, way better than in 2K24. It just looks a lot better. Plus, their engaged stance, they're not always in the engaged stance now. Now they walk. Even if your back is turned, they walk normal or run or do whatever. And they don't get in that engaged stance where they're hopping around. The only time they do that is when they're face-to-face and they're close to each other, then they get in that engaged stance like they would normally. You know what I mean? That's what happens. So no worries about that. Valhalla's still in the game. Zelina Vega's still in the game. Sonya Deville, which I think she recently got released, but still in the game. That's funny. I remember Katana Chance when she was an American Ninja Warrior for years before this. And then there's a crap ton of newer superstars coming in. Eddie Thorpe. Cora Jade was at the creator event, and she's really down to earth. Ethan Page was at the creators event. Jada Parker, Jakar Jackson, Javon Evans, Kalani Jordan. I think Kiana James is new this year too. Lola Vice, Lexus King. I'm glad he's in the game. He's got a lot of neat moves. Lash Legend looks really good in the game. Ora Mesa, Obafemi. Sean Spears, his entrance looks really good. That just came out. Tatum Paxley, Sol Ruka. Wendy Chow. Cho has a way better look to her now. I think we'll see something like that. I don't think it'll come out in a DLC. I think it'll be one of those things like one of the My Faction type Persona cards that come out. You know what I mean? I was really hoping that they would show some things. That's the other thing. So they got the GM, my GM. The bad part about like the my GM thing right now is you can have up to 4 players online, but you cannot watch the matches from what I've been told. So you can get on there. You can simulate the matches, but you can't watch them. Like, you can't go in there. They even have pay-per-views, PLEs, where it'll pit like the WCW against the WWE or the ECW. You have matches that open the show, you have matches that end the show with the two organizations fighting, then you have your own kind of shows in between. But you can't watch the matches, it's all simulated. So if they come out with they're talking with the Hardys right now, probably wouldn't be that hard because they already have their models. But if they come out with the TNA pack, probably. What I wonder, though, is, okay, so they come out with the TNA pack, they do all that stuff. The Hardys didn't leave on the best of circumstances. I'm sure the WWE would want them back in. But would the Hardys want themselves back in? That's really the question, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think on that other channel I got like 18. There's like 18. It used to be called Fun with Totes and Jane. But I haven't seen Jane in a minute. So then I considered bringing different wrestling content over there. And then I was like, well, right now this channel is seeing a lot of success with the wrestling content. It's kind of the thing that we do, obviously. And to be fair, it's the thing I wanted to do. So I'm glad that it went this way. But that's not how our channel started. Our channel started with the Division 2 and a bunch of different shooter games. And I play a lot of shooter games still. I'm 49 years old, but these hands are pretty fast still. Yeah, but it was a little more, there was a little more to it than that. And what is their relationship with Triple H at the end of the day? That's going to be the big thing. Or what's their relationship with the Road Dogg? If they come back, that's what's really going to matter to them more than anything else. I think the reason why, like, you know, they're over in TNA is probably because they're allowed to do whatever they want to do. I hope they add more tag team finishers. But more importantly than that, I think, just like I believe with the tables, I think because of the way the movesets are set up now, that we'll be able to make them do more tag team finishers. I believe we can favorite that, or we can favorite, like right now you have the option of what kind of move do you put your opponent through a table with. You can favorite that move. What's going on, Tipple? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I reached out to Danny Lads. If I reach out to Jane, she'll pop in within about a week. Because I still check on her, and then but Danny, I've reached out to several times, several different ways, and nothing. I know why, but like it's got nothing to do with me. But it is what it is. Even on his channel, he stopped. And what's funny is Danny was ahead of me and a couple other people going forward. Danny would have been the one that hit the 1,000 before us. So this is what this means. I don't think people understand this with the 165 new moves. That's good for the more variety of things that we can do. But you're right about the back end of that with the animations. Because what will happen is with the 165 new moves, that's 165 new animated reversals to those moves, because you have to have those in there as well. So when I see that, that's what I get excited about. I think it is. Like, he's still friends with me on PlayStation, so I still see, like, he was on 11 hours ago. So I can't imagine things are bad. Like I said, it didn't have anything to do with me, but he took a stand one way, and I didn't, and I think that's like the issue. You know what I mean? Just how it goes. Yeah, when you guys have drama, I try to stay out of it. If it's my drama, I end it pretty quick. Or I end it pretty quick. Either way. It either ends pretty quick or I end it pretty quick. So, but I'm too old to hold grudges. So I don't. So I mean, I'm fine with everybody involved still. Yeah, that's why I get excited about the new characters, because they go above and beyond. And now with them adding, think about this. They talked about the hair thing, and they're like, oh, why couldn't you have hair? Because they work on all this hair for all these people they add every single year and the people in the game, but they didn't allow those hair parts to be in community creations. Now, supposedly, a lot of them are. That's why, like, I wanted to watch What's the Status's video on the different cost stuff, but I don't need to see all the jackets. I don't care. We're gonna see that on Friday. The only thing I'm really curious about is the hair, because they started adding better hair, but leaving in the old hair. We talked about this, I think, on the last podcast, but they left in the old hair, and that's the problem. You leave in the old hair, then what's the point? It looks terrible compared to the new hair. So instead of just redoing all the hair all the time, or like fixing the hair, they haven't fixed it. They just left the old stuff in, and they're putting in new stuff that looks way better. So then you look at our guys, a lot of them have newer hairstyles. So there's it'll be a lot more diverse in the hairstyles in our universe when it's better. Because again, you upload your CAW and you think that you can upload your CAW without any extra added things done to it. This is not the universe for you. Yeah, it's absolutely right. It's funny because if you see me in the SSU, I play a heel. You know what I mean? So I don't think people understand that. Somebody got pretty heated with it yesterday. It was hilarious. And I shouldn't laugh about it, but like, yeah, it's funny. Frost knows what I'm talking about. Frost is the first one that I saw play his part. Like, play his part as an up-and-coming wrestler. And what he said, like, the heel version of Totes had nothing to say about it. Like, he said what he said, and I was like, that's true. Like, it's hard to argue with the truth. You know what I mean? And moved on. Other people don't do that. Other people say the dumbest things that I've ever heard. Like, they just say dumb things, and it's always the same stuff. I'm like, you're not arguing with the Lord. The Lord, you argue a certain way with. Totes, you argue a certain way with. You know? And I want to play into your storyline. I want to. That's all I'm there to do. I haven't won the world title over there because I don't need to win the world title over there. You know what I'm saying? World title over there has got some responsibilities. You can see I got enough responsibilities. So, but yeah, funny. Funny stuff. So, yeah, I listened to a thing too today. Why can't, with the pro wrestling shoot, and they interviewed the dev that is in charge of my GM, and so got a lot of questions answered there, which was really neat. Um, I mean, to the point where maybe I'll give it a try again. My thing is like with my GM, the one thing that I cannot stand is you can't put on a decent show for a long time and you got to fight your way up. If I'm the WCW, I don't have to fight my way up. I'm the WCW. If I was like some brand new promotion, maybe, but like, the LMT, like, okay, well, yeah, I'd probably have to fight. No, nobody's ever heard of them. But if I'm the WCW, I'm trying to step in now and compete against the likes of the WWE, ECW, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's the part that I don't like. But the biggest, that's not even the biggest. I can even deal with that. But the biggest thing that I don't like is, and we've talked about this, you got to put a high flyer against a big guy. That's what makes good TV. Big guys pummeling little guys. Oh, wait, in your game there's some weird glitch where little guys have the advantage over the big guys. It makes no sense. I think Hornswoggle's going to be in this game. I think that's what we're going to see a lot more of this year. I want to see the legends, don't get me wrong. You better have like Mankind and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin, and you better have them guys in the game. They should have Sting in the game. I'm shocked they didn't go out and figure that one out yet. But Goldberg should be in the game. You know what I mean? Like, you should have those guys in the game for sure. But I'm with you on that. I'm not cool with what they just did, though. Goldberg's going to come back as DLC. I can almost guarantee that. And he's going to come back as DLC because he's out of the game for 1 year. Like, that's dumb. Dumb. I'm not down with that. You took him out of the game, put him back in the game. Go after some people that aren't in the game. And there's slots, obviously. Like, people are gone, you know? Bobby Lashley's not in the game. Maybe let's see if we could do this. What if I brought that up? Let's go look at the SmackDown Hotel. We'll say roster, but it's not even the roster that I care about. That Bloodline match it's like your typical WCW match. Like, it is like WCW. Like, if you had the NWO, that's what you would want. I don't know how often we'll actually use the underground thing. It's a knockout match. They just linked it right to here, but it doesn't show. There's some things, and I was hoping they would show some of the pictures of it. Yeah, the chain wrestling's back, so that's good. Damage. I'll tell you this too, like, okay, whatever with the corner post thing, but they showed a match where John Cena fought maybe the Undertaker, right? He fought somebody, and it was a Hell in a Cell match. And they had lines, like road rash type lines from the cell the more they got thrown into it. One guy got slammed down on top of it. And you could see the lines in his back from the... So the new bruising, the new body damage, that's amazing. This is a thing that I'm glad they did this. Women can bleed, but there's a new giant class. So it's not an archetype, it's a class. That's what I mean. So now you can have, I'm pretty sure you can have a super heavyweight in a brawler class, or you could have a super heavyweight in the giant class. And the giant, They now have an additional purple health bar at the beginning of the match that must be depleted to knock them down. Let your mind roam on that idea. Right now, the way like a digital dogs. What is going on? Blaze Radio, welcome to the stream, brother. Yeah, me too. Absolutely cool. Especially after seeing it in that match. When those two guys got out of the match, I think John Cena eventually wins the match, whoever he's fighting. The match, it went for a long time, and by the end of the match, it looked like he hadn't been split open, but you could see he had the road rash on his forehead. He wasn't bleeding, but it looked like it was just that road rash where like the bruising comes up to the top, and not bruising, I mean road rash. And then he had it on his body, had it on his arms, had it on his back, had it on his legs. Like it looked like he had been in this huge knockdown, drag out fight. It was so amazing. But okay, so back to the giant class. Now, picture digital dogs. This is how it always should have been. We're not going to see it because I don't keep our things up like that. But digital dogs is going to be one of a few giants. And now to knock him down, it's going to be that. Now you can take and put a Blaze McCoy. Let's say you put Blaze at like 305, right? Not a giant, though. He's a brawler. Or he's a anything else. Doesn't matter, except being a high flyer. He doesn't have to be in the giant class. So now you can really have your heavyweights, your super heavyweights, and now your giants. Like Andre the Giant did not, and the Giant or the Big Show, they didn't act like other people. Hogan's over 300 pounds. They didn't act like Hogan. So I'm very excited about that. Like digital will be the first or second person I create. Totes will be the first or the second, and digital will be the first or second. I want to see them two get in the ring and do the thing. I want to see what it looks like. The other really like cool thing is even with the blood, the blood flows from the head, flows a little more freely now. So you'll see it on the chest of the wrestlers a little bit more, like, you know, if it's a hard match and it's going through everything. I'm hoping next year. They said not this year, but then again, they said we weren't going to see the women's titles, and the women's titles are in the game. The women's mid-card titles, the Intercontinental and the United States title belt, they will be in the game on day one. So, but now they've got the hydration station down there at ringside, and you can use it as a weapon. You can grab some of the smaller bottles. You can use the actual station as a weapon. Now for title fights, like in the WWE, there should be a stand down at the ring, and that's where the title belt should be. And then if you want to use the title belt, you should be able to use it. You should be able to go over there and grab the title belt and use it if it's that kind of a match. You can't do that yet, but enough content creators now have brought it up that hopefully, especially a symbol that was, each one of them has a hill that, and I don't know if they get together and decide which hill they're going to die on, but each one of them seems to have a different hill. That's his. I was just talking about one of the things too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think in 2K26 we're going to see the title belt thing finally. The new submission station. There's a new thing in ladder matches where it's a button pushing system. And it gives you a button, and you have to push it. Then you have to push the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You have to do it like 6 times. to make it through one. And then you have to do that like 6 to 8 times to actually get the belt off of the thing. So depending on how fast you can push the button to get through will depend on how fast it goes. Now, I didn't have a problem with the other thing. If it would reset every single time you get knocked down or you get stopped from completing it. Like you had the briefcase, the meter left, like you let go and the meter's gone. As soon as that meter's gone, you have to start over. I wouldn't have had a problem with the other thing. A lot of people had a problem with it. I never did. Like I was fine with it. I just wasn't fine with it. The computer would do it so fast. And then by the time the next guy got up there, all you had to do is let him do it. You knock that guy down and then you go up and you won the belt. Ta-da! So it's a terrible way. Like I don't like the system at all. Hey, welcome back, Temple. That's the other thing, too. Like, I almost wish that the women's title belts were different than the men's. Then they're not. They're white strap versus a black strap. Like, literally, we could have fixed that in the game. All you got to do is copy the belt, copy the one belt, and then make it a white strap, and ta-da, ipso facto, presto, changeo. I wish they would be different, because that would then give us different parts inside the creation suite when you're creating a title. You know what I mean? But the new submission system, I mean, that's good too. Nothing wrong with that. Being able to perform your finishers and signatures from the top of a ladder, finally. Can you imagine, like, you get all the way to the top, you're on the other side, both guys are kind of fighting back and forth, and then you put them in a pedigree? Or you put them in the extraction from on top? Unbelievable. So that should be better, which then means the ambulance and the casket matches should be better because it's still based on that same ladder type system. This is the next thing that I'm very excited about. And this isn't even all of them. This is some of them. But, you know, the new AI settings, you obviously know. Priority, repetition, timing. But new paybacks, ref bump. Send your opponent stumbling towards the referee to take down the bothersome official. So some of these now are really setting up before. And I was looking at some of my creations. I just went through. If you want a little, we'll do it here in a second, just to show you. And did all the stuff, and I'm looking at how their paybacks are set up, and some of them, I'm like, why did we set them up this way? And it was very obvious who had like the top 4 paybacks and who didn't. You know what I mean? But adding these extra ones, like the ref bump, that means I can throw my opponent in any kind of a match. That will give me an official because now an advantage because now he's down and now I can do things. I can do the dirty moves. Maybe I've got a couple paybacks and I hit him with the power of the punch right after, the ref bump. And I can do it now and the ref won't see it. Powder, disorientate your opponent. Yeah, like the powder, the fireball, like why do it? You're going to get disqualified in most of the matches, right? But the ref bump thing now, if I had powder and ref bump, it would make sense. I could throw them in there, build it up, throw them into the whatever, and then start, doing the dirty moves. Dirty break. Break from your opponent's combo or grab with with unsavory aggression. So 2 different ways to get in or out of it, but a dirty break. Because then that's going to make your opponent stumble, and that gives you the advantage now to where you're back in control. Adrenaline rush, fire up with a surge of energy to resist incoming attacks and go on the offensive. So that's really cool because we have rage, right? But that's where you fire up and you're on the offense all of a sudden. You're fired up, boom, offense. This, you're resisting the incoming attacks. Like, Almost like the Hogan thing, you know what I mean? And then you turn around and bam, now you're in control. Bully, intimidate the referee into counting faster during your pin attempts. Like, what if there was an NWO or a leader of an NWO? What if there's more people in the NWO? Probably bully, ref bump, stuff like that. And then bloodline run-in, but that's only during the bloodline match, and you automatically have it when you're in that match anyway. So, whatevs on that. But yeah, so that's absolutely amazing. But just to show, like, let's get back into this thing. Where are we? Where did I come from? Where did I go? Where did I come from, Cotton Eye Joe? So we get in here, and just looking now at some of the stuff. You know, you guys know we've got all the titles, we've got all the things, we got all this, you know. But here's where I have all your move sets for the men and for the women. Everybody only has one. There's typically only 3 specials. And then I have all of the entrances and the winning motion. So even the special ones where it starts off as AJ Hawk, which I wonder what they're going to call that. Yes, move, B, you know, business suit finishes off, and victory motions. So when we go back through here and we start creating, I have all the heights and weights, that's all dialed in here. But when I started doing this one right here, I started noticing some things. Here's all your guys' ratings. So even when I'm not, we're not online doing the things, I'm doing the things still. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm also starting a new career, real estate agent, and we're doing that too. But I started looking at some of these ratings, and some of them are so out of whack with reality. Next year they're gonna be changed. But now for the light heavyweights, they're falling within, and I'm not completely done yet, but they all fall within certain things, their grapples, the reversals, the stuff. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's some people that stand out in a different way because you're like, no, even though they're this, they're really, this is the one thing. So you have a couple weird outliers on purpose. That's what makes it fun. But you don't have a bunch of, I have one weird outlier in certain categories. Not even every category has a weird outlier. Only certain ones. Even when you look at like the power and how the power lines up, you know, you would think, but look, Totes My Goat's power, like, it's not even in the upper half of the heavyweights, the giants, the cruiserweights. But now the cruiserweights are going to have more speed, more agility, obviously. If I can find it. Yeah, speed and agility. I haven't dialed these in yet. I've started to dial these back. But I haven't even really got these completely dialed in yet, but for the cruiserweights. And then, of course, you guys know pin escape, recovery, special, and finisher. That's all based on what you do inside the universe. So we've got all the stuff. Like, everything is ready to go for Friday. Looks like we like we have 10 slots, so really we have 8. One of them's a stalker, but I didn't put him in here. But yeah, I was just looking at that, and then you'd start looking at what people have. Like I'm looking at Jane. Normally Jane is like just tearing it up. And so you come down here to find Jane. That one's not bad. Rage and Comeback. There's some in here, though. Oh. Victoria Vandiver. Why was her #1 thing Poison Mist? Like, that's not even in her story. You know what I mean? What's going on, R2K? Welcome back. So, yeah, I mean, there's just... Obviously, there's going to be a lot of things that we can do. A lot of things that that we're going to see. A lot of things that are going to start matter like more and more as we move forward. We're just really... I'm really trying to get set up for Friday. Friday, I've already blocked out on my schedule from about 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to be streaming. So... it's going to be a lot of stuff to do. You guys know I go hard on that new game when it comes out so that we can get everything, get used to it. But get used to everything. Get those things going and get those things rocking. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what's coming out. When I heard that stuff, though, about universe mode, I mean, that is absolutely on another level. It is absolutely crazy what all of that means and what all of it could mean and what it means moving forward and what it means just for our universe. Even if they screw up 2K26, if they can get this one right now, I think it's one of those things that universe, like our show could run off for five years probably. There's some things that'd be nice that if they were in there, but we're so close now to having all the nice to have stuff in there. The fact that they changed the calendar, the fact that now you can have 3 shows, you can have PLE, 2-night PLEs, you can have PLEs on any night you want, because we're going to use that. Like when you look at this calendar, we're going to use that. And now I can take this show right here, the Monday Night Wars, and I can leave it there, but I could turn it into a PLE technically. And I wonder if it'll track, but I could technically turn that into a PLE every other week on Wednesday. So that I don't have to skip over a show. Like, it's really there. We really did it. And that's how we do it. You know what I mean? So... GAW. Yeah, so it's just going to be really interesting, all the stuff. You can have 3 shows on one night now. So technically we could leave the WWE in. We could make a WCW show if we wanted. I'm probably not, but I'm just saying you could. If you wanted to, you could let it play out on autopilot. Let it do whatever it wants to do, and then only bring it in when you want it in. So like I say, I don't think we're going to have another show. I could be wrong. Like, I really want to have one more show. But I really want to be ready for 2K25. Like, I want to be dialed in. So more than likely we'll have another podcast before we have another show. But we could. Who knows? I'd like to see maybe Rowdy and Jakai go at it one more time. Technically, the next I mean, the next show is Thursday Night Outbreak, so... It's interesting. It almost has. Minus that, but... So the other thing I'm talking about is inside tag teams. You could technically now have DIY in the Alpha Academy. It would fall in like that. I just wonder how exactly it works. So we don't... we've seen the pictures of it, but we don't know exactly how it would work. You know what I mean? And then the only other thing is when you start looking at, oh, this is another really cool thing. Like right here, you're like, I don't know what shows they're on. And so you have to go in and do all this weird stuff. Now from this screen right here in 2K25, you could set every single person to the right show. You don't have to guess. You don't have to wonder. It all pops up right here. You click on them. And then by pressing left or right, it'll change the show. And then you can assign or unassign them to that show. So I can come into custom superstars, make sure that they're all assigned to the correct shows. Going to be interesting. The only thing that sucks is when we do this and we move back over, you lose the stats, but you lose your status effects. You know what I mean? The status effects aren't in the show anymore. So... Yep, you can have tag teams within factions now. So, like, the one that they used, the example of it was... Because this makes a lot of sense. The Kabuki Warriors are technically inside damage control. So, now I changed it up because... on here, because you can't do it. So I had like the Kabuki Warriors, but then I added in, you know, some. So I split them that way. But now you can really take the Kabuki Warriors and put them in damage control. You can assign a manager, like inside, like they have roles now inside the larger organization, and you can assign those roles. Like, yeah, this guy's in a tag team, this guy's in a tag team, this guy's a singles, this guy's a singles, this guy's a manager. Yeah, and this is nothing new for any of us. Like, every time the new game comes out, it's a new start inside the continuing storylines, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's absolutely a game changer. And that's what I mean. We got a lot of things this year. When you look at the new match types, when you look at the new additions to what they've added, apparently all the same old, all the old, and there's more. There's going to be more than just the ones I showed. What are those called? Like Rage and Comeback, and there's going to be more than just that that's unlocked inside my faction. But all the ones from the last game should be standard now in the new game. And then they're adding those other ones in, which will be really good. So yeah, big high fives. Very excited about the new stuff. That is faux show. And that's what I mean. That's kind of like why I almost want to wait and see that, you know, just wait and then start working Friday and just get after it. They typically do too, because, you know, it's going to launch. I think, though, if I was a betting man, the broken things won't be and won't have anything to do with creation suites. Might have to do with downloading like logos online or whatever, but it won't have anything to do with creation suites. It'll have to do with the island. Everybody's going to be in the island, trying to figure out what's going on with the island, trying to do all the stuff with the island. There are new arenas in the game. There's probably 5 to 10 new arenas. Like there's the Bad Blood arena. There's a few other like new things. But yeah, I'm guessing the online servers for the island is what the problems are going to be. You know what I mean? So and what's neat right now, you guys can look out and see. You can go online because today the releases are the island, and then What's the Status has been putting out some stuff as well. As far as the creation suites. Matter of fact, when I get off here, I'm probably just going to have it playing in the background so I can kind of see. But so, like, you can only bring back 2/3 of the shield. But what if you had a caw and brought that caw? Like, you know what I mean? But I think Roman Reigns is so far gone on the island. But here's the, or not the island, but in the bloodline that would never happen. Seth Rollins, he's too much of a star now. Could you bring the Shield too? That would be interesting. Yeah, but see, here's the difference, you know, and they keep claiming it's nothing like NBA 2K. Yeah, it is. The prices are going to be different, and it's a much smaller area. So, I was watching a video from a Symbol, and he was talking about like he wished there was just like a map or something like a yellow icon that would show you like which direction to go. He goes, but it's so small, like after a while you know right where everything's at, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, he's too self-centered. You think the tribal chief is going to go back into that? No. And then of course the other guys in AEW. So what other questions do you guys have? Well, learn to play with delay or get faster internet and a better monitor. I have a gaming monitor, like I mean point I think it's 0.01 delay. Before I had this monitor, when I was playing on a TV, like it was bad. Like I was like, "Oh, they're shooting me through walls." No, they're not. Now that I have the monitor, the people say that to me. But other people always got faster. Somebody out there's faster. What's going on, Robert? A robot, huh? Roboto. Any other questions we got? Any other things you think we need to talk about? No. Oh, in entrances, yeah. Yeah, there's still at least the two motorcycles. You're still gonna have the tank. And then you of course you got the one or two skateboard type entrances that are in there. Oh yeah, the NBA game. I know what you're saying. I didn't have this set up with the NBA games, but I would imagine that yeah, it'd probably be very close, very very similar. Yeah, you're going to run into that too, for sure. And look, like there's no way you're going to convince me either. There is no way that you can try to tell me that somehow 2K servers are going to be amazing this year. They're a problem in my faction. Like that doesn't even tax the servers that hard. And there's a problem in my faction. Now you're going to put 50 people into a room? No, you're not. What about the custom nameplates? I mean, what's the question? Like, are there custom nameplates? Is that what the question is? Because I'm going to say yes. I think I heard the same thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what you got. No chance in hell. That's what you got. Yeah. Mr. McMahon's theme song on the servers. I figured there'd be more questions. It's interesting. One of the things I said, because you asked a question about the new arenas. It looked like there was also a new Undertaker's type arena. I know there's one in the island, but it looked like there was one in the base game. Probably not the same thing, but it looked like there was something like that in the base game. Like, I'm shocked. You know, you look at a lot of stuff that 2K20 did. I'm shocked they didn't find a way to bring any of that in here. You know what I mean? It just makes so much more sense. Well, that's the thing. Technically, they don't. You can't have a rivalry with another faction. So all the rivalries are only like, I make the rivalries within the factions, right? But all you can really have is like, okay, 2v2 rivalry or a 1v1 rivalry. That's really all you can do. You know what I mean? I want to say no. I think some of the backstage area is connected, but overall, no. I don't think the new areas, like, I don't think the parking lot is connected to the backstage area we have now that is connected to where they hold all this stuff. So I don't think so. But hey, I'm glad you actually asked about the backstage areas. We have something to talk about that. Probably. That's probably going to be fixed in 2K25. Like, I don't know if you can, but there are so many things that don't work in 2K24 that I don't even think people realize. Also, your custom Trons, are you talking about custom Trons in an arena that you built? Because I've got something to show you if that's what you're talking about. We typically do every year. Almost every year. No, we cannot stack tables. There's a photo that shows a pane of glass and a video. There's a video that accompanies this. It shows a pane of glass that somehow got laid up against a chair. It was like a mistake. Paybacks. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was it happened to fall that way and didn't break, and then somebody slammed them through it, and they're like, oh, we could stack tables. No, we can't stack tables. Paybacks, they have brand new paybacks, and we don't even know all the paybacks. You know the one that I use for Witcher, where she lifts the soul siphon, is what it's called. That should be in the game again. They said all the old paybacks are in the game. They showed some new paybacks that are in the game. We talked about them about 10, 15 minutes back. And then they said that's not all. You should be able to lock, just like we unlocked the soul siphon and a couple other ones through MyRise. There's supposed to be some within MyRise that we can unlock as well. Okay, Frost, I'm going to show you something here real quick. But let's see first, just a couple other things real quick before I grab this controller. Will we be able to roam in the audience? I'd like to say yes, but I don't know. So you technically can now, not free roam the audience. But there is some pretty big paths in certain arenas that you can go into and roam. But I think there'll be probably 1 or 2 new base arenas. They add 1 or 2, maybe 3 every year. But I don't think it'll be any different than what it is now. Like, I don't think you can go like we used to be able to go and then throw them back through the entrance, how they came into the... onto the, like, we'd get back up on the stage from the ring, back down the thing, back up on stage and throw them into the back, and now we're brawling in the back. I don't know why they ever took that away, but like that should be a no-brainer to bring back. Okay, check this out. Some people don't know this one. Some people do. When you go in to create an arena or edit an arena like we're about to do, we come in here to Thunder and edit the arena. And right now you can see that my Tron in the back, one of them's got movies on it. You can see some things have lightning on them. You can see the post. You can see part of the stage. But the entrance piece doesn't. Right? It's not even moving. You have to come in here to movie display. And right now, the Titantron is always custom. Now it's whatever. Now it's off. And it's, see, the one we're doing is the one that's above there. The Minitron here right now, movie entrance custom and match. Now once they do the match, you know, it hits their thing and does whatever. But right now, it's just like, hey, it's the movie for the entrance, right? But it's back to custom the rest of the time. The wall on the left, I could do the same thing. I could turn it off, but we always have it on movie. You know what I mean? So up there, always custom. But we could change that to do that. So that's one of these things I don't think people know about. Because there's other places, right? Of course, movie selection, you can also go in to movie selection, and that's what makes the main movie selection, Undertaker, Billboard, whatever, right? What's going on, Solo? Welcome to the stream, brother. Hey, you have a great day, Sindel. Glad you got to stop in, brother. No, it won't be solo. That's almost why I wanted to do this today, because we did get some really good news today. Some really interesting news. We'll talk about it here again real quick, and that's how important it is. That is how important one thing is. And as long as this one thing stays in place, we'll be fine. If it changes, we're in trouble. Okay, just real quick, while we're in the middle of this real quick. So now we're back here. So that's one place you can do the movie things, right? Here's the next place. Thanks, brother. Thanks. And guys, too, Solo hasn't even been here to see the neat commands or anything. He doesn't even know. Maybe this is it. It seems like something I would do. Look at Nightbot. Become one of the seasoned few. Again, guys, reach out to me with the thing that you wanted to say. Like, we've got space for commands. I forget about it when I get off here. So that's space one. You can go in to do that, right? And you're like, I know, everybody knows it, right? Okay. Next, you go stage for construction. Now I can come in here, and I have to check it again. Right there. This one right there. Bam. Custom and match, movie, always custom off. You got to go in there and you got to do it again. Thanks, brother. King Sam buying his ticket. That's what they thought. But that's not how it is. Current gen can only pull from themselves. Past gens, old gen, and PCs are by themselves. And it's amazing. It's amazing that it's that way. Because that means our game on current gen console is going to be stable for the first time, because PC can't add in the stuff that has all the mods that breaks our systems. So, like, everybody's upset about it. I'm very excited. Anyway, that's the next way. And the last way. Stage display. Again, you can come on here, Titantron, Group 1 on, Group 2 off. But there's 3-4 different ways to change it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, PC, like, we can't pull from them. They can't pull from us. It's completely separate. And at first, I was pissed. And I'm really excited that it's that way. Like, I'm very happy it's that way. So here's the thing that we were talking about. Oh, that sucks. That does suck. That is sad. But look, 2K26, there's not going to be any last gen consoles, and they're probably going to bring the PC over by then. So it's going to be thanks, Temple. I appreciate that. It's going to be interesting. I bet you if I put in SWW, though, like if I was down here and I gave it a little command, SWW, I bet you something else will pop up. Yeah. I bet you if I did this, something else. So here is the thing that Solo was talking about earlier, and this is the thing I was talking about too, where I'm like, look, it's the beginning of the end. But they put in a thing yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. Most of the wrestlers I do are live on stream. Although, I'm not going to be uploading all of them this year. So check this out. As long as this one thing stays in place, there's one thing that if this stays in place, this is amazing. And they can do whatever they want to do on the island. They can do it for as long as they want to do it on the island. They can make it for as much money as they want to make it on the island. Like, I don't care. And it'll never affect community creations. Community creations will be safe. And this year it is. Let's say me and Solo both went into the island and we both bought this one pair of white Jordans, whatever they're called. I'm not a shoe guy, right? But let's say the Mach 2 Jordans, and we both bought them. They're white. I cannot upload a created wrestler with those Jordans on, even if Solo has those Jordans. It won't let me upload it, even for him to download it, even if he had unlocked that part on the island. So right now, as of right now, no island part can be uploaded. Now, if you watch Just Brian, he didn't ask the dev this question. He tried and he goes, oh, they were letting me upload. But if you go watch the Pro Wrestling Shoot, he asked the dev, you cannot upload to Community Creations. As long as that stays in place, we're fine. If it ever changes, watch out. The next year, we're screwed, just like NBA 2K. Nice. Yeah, so that, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's the one thing. If they would, I hate to say this, because I love it. I love the content that PC creators can produce by modding the game. If they could ban modding the game. But I didn't have this many problems until PC and the PS5 could cross-download each other's cause. Then all of a sudden, like, just things stopped working. This wasn't working. So I'll take a working game over really cool creations any day. I debated, because I have a PC that can handle running this game 10 times, right? I debated on whether to buy the game on PC and learn how to mod. Because I was like, wow, I don't know how to mod. I don't know how to PC game, to be fair. I have a PC that would blow most people's PCs away. Not everybody's, but most. But that's why I stay on PS5. I do it through my PS5. Runs through my computer. And now this time I don't have to feel so bad about, oh, I gotta buy the PS6. No, I don't. When the PS6 comes out, I don't have to buy it. They just proved this year. They proved it this year. There's typically a 7-year console generation. It's usually about 7 years. 5 of those was with last gen. So, like, what the? They haven't even done anything that would max out the PS5 yet. So I ain't even worried about buying a PS6. They're already talking about it. They're like, oh, in 2 years, PS6. Yeah, screw off. Max this system out, and then I'll worry about buying a PS7 maybe. I know you guys are going to keep producing games. You just proved it in this generation. Total ripoff to people who bought a PS5, people who bought the brand new Xbox, whatever it's called. I get the COVID thing. Like the COVID thing, I was like, yeah, probably 3 years. 3 solid years. Maybe 4 I could have. But this last time, I'm like, and this time? Nah, I'm out. I'm out on that. And because the island, they're just trying to find a way to block. They're trying to find a way to put it in. Like, how does other games get away with it? Well, NBA, I don't think 2K has to worry about it. So, what's going on, JKR? No, it'll be on PC. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. So here, JKR, this is what Blaze is talking about. The island so the PC can go in and take out the files and copy the files and figure out all the stuff that's available on the island, and they can make it public and they can ruin a lot of things. And that's why PC is on last gen, and last gen doesn't have the island. So I think by next year there will be software that they find that they can put in place on PC that can block a lot of that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody can always get around whatever, but I think that that's the why of it. I am also sad about the weapon physics, but I am really happy with everything else. I don't know if Solo caught the big stuff in here. There's some big things. The fact that you can have a PLE on any day of the week, any day. The fact you can have 2-day PLEs now. I call them pay-per-views because I'm old school, right? PC isn't old gen at all. It's stuck with the old gen because the old gen doesn't have the island. That has nothing to do with it. Yeah, and they are. They're even superior to, well, it's a lot closer now, but you can load it out the right way where they're more superior. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, a lot of people said the same thing. I said the same thing you did. So don't get me wrong. That is a very valid argument, but that's not why they did it. So oh, you're gonna love this. Any point in buying the Bloodline edition? Oh no, let's look. I don't think so. Like, I don't think that gives you an advantage of anything. I don't think you, except between the Undertaker's edition and the Bloodline edition, you get early access. But as far as, like, you could do that for even less. But let's just look real quick. Let's go back to this. Man, if you guys like spreadsheets, that's everybody's stats that is in the game right now. I've got 4 different sheets about all the stats. But let's go to something else, and let's just look at it on screen here real quick. Not that one. It's going to be this one, but this one should be that. There we go. So let's look at this, because what we want to see is we want to come in here, compare the editions, and see what's going on. What's what on the what. So standard edition, of course, that comes out March 14th. Dead Man edition or the Bloodline edition comes out March 7th. Now, standard edition, you get the My Faction stuff. So as long as you pre-order it, you get the Uncle Howdy stuff. You get the stuff even to use on what kind of a thing are you on? Are you on an Xbox, a computer? Last gen, current gen? Because that's going to start playing into this. Then we go in, pre-order bonus. That's still the standard for the standard edition. Okay, here we go. Let's get this up so I can read it. So you get the season pass with the Bloodline edition, the White 6, of course, with the Bloodline edition, the Dead Man pack, and then here's the things beyond the other things that you get. The Bloodline edition, you get the My Faction cards, the Persona cards, which you can use throughout the game, plus start adding this up, you get 32,500 VC. You get some Island cosmetics. Nothing to do with my GM, though. But you can update your characters and use those cosmetics in my GM as well. You get the Rock Nation of Domination. It's not going to be for individual purchase, so you've got to buy the Bloodline edition for that. You get the Ringside Pass, which is the Mega Boost, the My Rise plus 100,000 VC. So now that's 132,500 VC. Takes about 150,000 to max out your character on the island, or $50, which is way cheaper than the other one. But again, guys, remember, this is the hook gear. This is to get you hooked on the island. And then, of course, the WrestleMania pack. So, no, I mean, there's nothing very, like, really specific to my GM that, you know, ordering the Bloodline Edition. Now, I ordered the Bloodline Edition. I know a lot of people out there did, especially if you're a content creator, probably. That's what gets you all this stuff. You know, you get some cards, some stuff, the Bloodline, blah, 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 blah. Then on the island, you'd probably be up in probably about 92, 95. Probably be about 95 with the VC that comes with the game. And it doesn't make sense to spend VC because it's $18 to buy a jacket. You know, like, come on, stop. I'm not buying no jackets. You're going to see Totes My Goats in a black, like Stone Cold. Picture what Stone Cold wears. Bam. That's what Totes is wearing on the island. I won't even play that much of it. You know what I mean? That's funny. So yeah, it's very specifically for my GM. Now, here's where you're really going to be excited about my GM. My GM is really cool from this one aspect. This sucks for most people, but if you sim my GM can now be played with up to 4 other people online. But you cannot watch the matches if you're doing it with 4 other players online, or even 1 other player online. Online mode is going to be sim only. So you set up the matches, you set up this, your buddy sets up the matches, sets up all the stuff. You can have up to 4 people doing it, and it's sim only. So the fact that you're a sim player, a MyGM sim player, it makes a lot of sense. Now, in 2K26, I bet you can watch the matches. Again, every time that they add in a new feature, they add in a new thing, or they do something like that, it's bare bones. It is the bare bones thing of what it is that you're doing. And I think that's like the part that a lot of people like they really don't get, you know what I mean? But it is the bare bones of what you're doing. Yeah, Penta's they have already kind of let that cat out of the bag. Penta is in the game. He's not going to be in the base game. He ain't going to be there on day 1, but he is in. Yeah, you can do a 3-night Triple Mania basically. You can schedule 3 shows in one night. You can have on Monday. So when, let's back out of this just so you can get the visual of this. When you go in, oh, here we go. Yeah, but that's in your normal GM mode. Like if you're not playing GM online, like you're just playing your normal GM, you can watch the matches. But if you're playing with 4 friends online, it's only sim. There is no match watching. That came out today. But again, it's the feature we've been asking for, and so it like, boom, like it's just, you get the thing. What is going on, Goddess? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the podcast. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, if that's all you're doing, if all you're doing is 3 shows, I would still do it. I did hear there is some stuff that happens with it, but again, it was kind of one of those early builds. But like, look at my calendar. We just did the changeover, but now, technically, you could have Monday Night Raw, like we're the WWE. Let's pretend that for just 1 second. We're the WWE. You have Monday Night Raw. You have Tuesday night NXT. You have Friday Night Thunder. or a Friday night SmackDown, and you have Saturday whatever, then you have your PLEs. Now you can have 2-day PLEs that actually coincide with each other. To your point, Tipple, you could make a third one in front. Only 2 of them will coincide. The 2 that coincide, you can even have them up to 4 weeks apart. They don't have to be back-to-back days. They can be 4 weeks apart. So that's super cool. But all you have to do is add another one. It's not going to coincide technically, but you set the match card. On the 2, the computer will still set your match card, and it won't use the same people over and over. It will use some people on night 1, some people on night 2. We can do tournaments now. King of the Ring. So we can do King of the Ring. We're about to start repeating some stuff, guys, because, I mean, it's almost how important it is. Promos. I'm disappointed, but I'm fine with it also. So, like right here, you can see where it says Bash in Berlin, 2 of 2. That means the normal Saturday night show that's right here, and that's a PLE. So you can have a PLE on any day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All days can have the PLEs. All days can have the shows. Sundays, you can actually set shows on Sundays now. Not PLEs, just your normal weekly show. You can see up here where they have a 2-day SummerSlam, which that's how it's going to be this year. So 2-day SummerSlam. But you can set up a tournament now that will take place across your shows, culminating at a pay-per-view. Like King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. Right? Sorry, camera change, right? So you can do that now, which is huge. But like, look, okay, so back, we're Raw, right? We have Raw, we have NXT, we have SmackDown, we have Bash in Berlin, we have No Mercy. Now, I do the same thing, and I want to go back to the day. So now I've got WCW show, right? A real not mine, but a real WCW show. Now we've got Monday Night Nitro, we have Thursday Thunder, we have Saturday Night Wrestling, and we have our pay-per-views. Now I want to do ECW, or I want to do my own show now. I want to do TCW. I can set that up. I can let those shows run and only air what we do, and then at a pay-per-view, like include some stuff, you know, like how we have the Monday Night Wars. You can really have Monday Night Wars now, and you can even turn it into a storyline where it's like, oh yeah, I'm beating so-and-so in the Monday Night Wars. I'm beating Raw, or I'm beating WCW, or we're losing to Raw, but beating the WCW. Like, you can do whatever you want now. So now it's going to take a minute to get used to having 3 shows. One's going to be predominant on the thing, like you can see with Bash at Berlin right now. That one, you can choose the predominant show you see, but when you see 2 of 2 or 2 of 3, that's what you're looking at, because you can have those 3 shows on one night. Now we can have tournaments inside. They're 8-man tournaments. They're one-on-one. They aren't tag team tournaments. But you can see right here, another addition to Universe is the support of tournament PLEs like King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. In these tournament, 8 superstars will host shows. From host shows will take place in a series of one-on-one matches where the winner of each match advances and the loser is eliminated. The winner of the final match of the official tournament is awarded a guaranteed title match at SummerSlam. So that's why I'm like, I might have to have a SummerSlam or something like it. Like, you can always do it yourself too, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you know, so my problem with the promos is this. It's not its own slot. So, like, I have 9 matches in my shows, period. I'm probably going to have 11 now, and then delete it if I don't have promos. If But I love this part of the promos if it works. But if you remember, none of the mid-card run-in stuff worked. Or not mid-card, but none of the mid-match run-ins worked. None of them. If it was at the end, it worked. If it was at the beginning, it worked. But if it was in the middle, if it was somebody who was going to actually come down and physically get involved, they didn't work. Because the promos are set up as a rivalry action, are they all going to work? Now, the fact that we don't have PC with us now, that gives us a more stable platform, I think they will all work. But you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you could have some serious invasion angles. Yeah, and I do believe, like, let me not be negative, I'm super glad that promos are back in the game. I'm super glad that there is nobody talking, like there's not text boxes. Because people will be reading the text boxes, and I'm going to be saying that people are saying something totally different. Just like, same with your show. I'm sure you do the same thing. So I'm glad that that's not there. I'm glad with how it's set. I just wish I could add the promo slots. Now, 2K26, we know they're going to be better. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way around that. Automatically going to be better in 2K26. Yeah, that's the first thing I went to. I was like, oh my God, 3 shows, WCW, WWE, ECW. And I'll probably do that just so I can watch it. You know what I mean? Like, serious. I'd probably do it just so I could watch that because I enjoy that. But there's something even bigger that I have a feeling that's coming. They said something, and it's not, there's no way this is in the game, but they did say something, and I think they meant it a different way. But the way they said it, it would be like, let's say Goddess, she has her universe mode, and then I download her universe mode to mine, and I download Blaze's. You know what I mean? Now, they don't control it anymore. I'd control it, but or they would download mine to theirs, and they would control it. But they said something like that. So I have this funny feeling that with what they're doing right now with GM mode could bleed over into universe mode as well. So it's something that we definitely have to keep watching. But man, so much information for us, for the people who create e-federations, came out yesterday that I know it wasn't big things, but these are those quality of life things that we have been begging for. Please give us these things. And they're starting to give us the things, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Rivalries, I'm looking at the rivalries on my screen right now. Rivalries, they're still 1v1 and 2v2. Like, that's dumb. But the ability to put tag teams inside of factions now, I did a video about that 3 years ago, before 2K22 came out. Detailed, lined it out, and they almost did it. Little different, but almost exactly how I said. Like, this is how, and I'm not taking credit for it. They don't watch my videos. But I'm just saying, it makes me feel better that they're seeing and they're listening to some of this stuff and they're seeing the things. I wish we could attack people with titles during a title match. Like, I wish the title belt, like in normal, like in real life, like it's set up right there. And if it was some kind of a harder core match, if you wanted, you could use that belt. But there's so many things that are coming. So look, the big things, and I don't think people get this one either. Let's go back real quick. Let's look at this. That's what I'm talking about as far as that goes. If you look inside of here, Roman Reigns singles, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso tag, Sami Zayn. This is one version of it, and then you can actually set Paul Heyman inside as a manager. I used to have to set the managers outside so that we had more spaces because it wouldn't work right. He'd walk out like he's a tag team partner. I don't want him to do that. So hopefully we can fix that and change that. But you can prioritize them to singles, to tags, to trios, and to quads. What? The singles and tags I totally got, but now think about this. Like for a guy like Temple, trios, I don't do a lot of trios matches, or and the ones that I do, it's not because of the trios thing or the quad thing. And now you can prioritize the manager. So hopefully he'll come out as a manager. Teams now also support lineups, and Blaze sent out. So if you're in Blaze's or in my Discord, go check it out. There's a picture of it that lines it out. So once you see the picture, you fully understand what I'm saying. Teams now support lineups of stables of 3 or more members. These lineups are smaller groups within a large team and can have their own unique names. So, like, think about this. When you look at this, look at what I did to do the same thing that they're talking about. Sorry, wrong place. Let's go to the NWO. Look, these are all called the NWO, but look, we're all on the same page. You guys have watched my shows. So Digital and Chillivac, Totes and Jace, Jay Savage, Matt Storm, Andrew Dubs, and the NWO Hit Squad, because I didn't want them to lose their name. And then I had to go in here to Superstars. Come down, let's go down to Totes, since he is the leader. And look at what we had to do. I had to make the allies. I'm talking and nobody can see what I'm talking about. I had to make the allies the individuals that are in those things, like, to hopefully show that, yeah, we're together, but that's why we come out separate. So look, Totes has these allies: Digital Dogs, Kimty Watson, Matt Storm, Cecil, which it shouldn't have been him, and Andrew Dubs, and shouldn't have been him because of the way it's set up. And then you go down to the tag teams, and I had to set up these guys, even though we're all in the New World Order, I had to set it up this way. Now, inside the game, you can make the New World Order and set those tag teams up underneath the New World Order. How awesome is that? One of the things, too, you can turn on or off intergender matches. We talked about that. But one thing that's pretty cool, if there's an option for an intergender division, which opens up the capabilities of having an intergender championship and allows players to include superstars from the men and women's division. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Like I said, you're not going to see a bunch of intergender stuff on my channel, but at the same time, it's also a video game. You know what I mean? But yeah, so lots of different things. And this is what I mean. Even if the island somehow destroys 2K26, and it won't, but if it did, let's just say it did, we're in a really, really good position with what's coming out in 2K25. It's not everything that we wanted. It's not everything that we hoped for, but it is more than I thought would come out. That's for sure. Like, it's like head and shoulders above anything I ever believed would come out. It's why I'm putting off my shows if I can. I don't want to promise that. I still might have one more show, but I'm trying to put off my shows until it comes out. That's how important and how game-changing I believe it is. How important I think it is to be able to tell the stories. The other super cool thing, like, guys, seriously, go check this out. Go check out the videos from Assemble. Gosh, I'm forgetting all the names, but the rest of the Pro Wrestling Shoot, Kenny Baum, Brian, I forget the name, but I watch all his videos as well. Go check out their videos. They have things. One of them has something that shows they added different ways to do the cash-ins. Now you have where he comes in, he hands the referee his stuff, somebody comes in and blows it up. No cash in. We have one where he runs down now, he goes to hand it to him and then pulls it back. No cash in. So there's these fake cash in scenes as well, like almost like he's trolling them, like he wants them to say, I could cash it in now, I'm not going to. I'm gonna stay in your head, you know what I mean? So for the people that do universe modes, this is huge for us finally. Like, and it's sad that they do 2 or 3 things and we're like, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. Yeah, and it's funny. I do less. I do more quads than I do trios because a lot of my factions, like when I do faction wars, it's with fours. You know what I mean? So, but I'm excited about the trios thing. I'm excited to see how people carry the quad or trios belts. That's very interesting to me. Shout out to all of you. There's about 3 or 4 of you that do it, and I was like, wow, never even crossed my mind. And you know what, Prime Time? It would be amazing. And I think there's certain people in the chat that probably could get it done where 2 federations, fight against each other. Maybe you do a cross-promotional show. That'd be super cool. Because again, nobody knows who's going to win or lose. Like, that's not even the point. But the problem is me and Blaze could never do it. The way my wrestlers are set up and the way his wrestlers are set up ratings-wise, you guys saw my spreadsheet. We couldn't do it because it's not, even though ratings aren't everything, but if it was done roughly the same, sort of the same, like within the realm of the same, but you'll never see anybody at 100 on my channel. I don't think it's possible. My rules that are in place, I don't think it'll allow it to happen. The highest we've ever seen is a 98, and I didn't think that was possible. So maybe, like, who knows? I guess it could, but it would have to be something like that where it's close. Like, I wouldn't want you to bring down your ratings or bring up your ratings. So it'd have to be close. Yeah, I'm really, man, I'm not even kidding. I'm really trying to do some things to start getting invited to these creation events, creator events, to speak for us, to speak for the solos and the blazes and the goddesses and the just everybody, everybody. Because what we do is so different. It's way different. And it's the thing that keeps the game alive. Now, finally, the island's here. Let's see if the island can carry it all year long. I've got over 100 episodes of Season 6, which is just this game. So I know you guys have, like, everybody does a little bit different, but I know you guys have your episodes. I see people streaming it all the time. We have our E-Federation Alliance. Why aren't the E-Federations being looked at and listened to? Now, here's the thing. I think we are. I just don't think we're invited to the table right now. So I'm doing some stuff. I know some people. I have some big trump cards. We'll see if some of them start to work. Yeah, and I believe status. That's status's biggest thing. Is the creation part of it. That's the thing that I started chasing a little bit, and yes and no, Prime. They're the same and slightly different for the third-person camera. Yeah, no, and look, Goddess, I say this all the time. I believe if you downloaded my character right now, the Totes character, and I did this for a very, very specific reason, and it's almost proven on multiple, now that Blaze did it, all of a sudden I wasn't winning at all on Blaze's thing, and all of a sudden I'm winning. And it's got to do with 2 different moves. A lot of people think, like, when they're mastercrafting their movesets, they're going to put in all these. This is why I love talking. You tickled the good spot. This is the thing I love talking about more than anything. The sliders and the moveset. I believe the Totes character has a moveset. And I'm not Totes. Like, I'll play the character, but I'm Frankie Two Fingers. You know what I mean? But I believe the Totes character, and I did it to prove a point, has a moveset that even in multiple different universes sliders can win, not all the matches, a majority of his matches, and now he's doing it. He's doing it in the SSU. He's doing it here in the WCW. And look, the SSU, my sliders, like Solo did some things to do something. Solo did some things that created this style that, so it's different in his universe. But even against all odds, against all the sliders, and he's not highly offensive. Offensive, maybe, but he's not highly, like, it's not an offensive character. But I did something with the moveset that will beat most people most of the time, which is almost all you can ask for. But I knew about this for years. I didn't do it. Matter of fact, in solos, I was winning too much, so I changed the moveset to bring it back, because it's not about winning, guys. It's about putting on good shows. And if you're dominating, right now, Totes is right in this area. The Totes character, right in this area where he puts on a really good show. You could beat him, but it's always going to look like you're about to beat him. So every match you watch, it looks like you're about to win, and then all of a sudden he ends up coming back and doing a thing. So, but again, it's different for all. It's different for all the universes, because we all have different sliders. We all have different ways of doing things, which is what makes it so great. But yeah, guys, just remember, it's not about winning, for sure. Yeah, and you know why my channel, like, I've never told anybody this. You guys want to learn some new stuff about Totes? You know why my channel, I don't think, is bigger? And this proves that YouTube throttles things. And this could go for other people's channels as well. It might be the genre we're in, but it is definitely this one thing. I was in Iraq. If you go back and watch the very first video I did, I wrote a song to my wife. That's how I started my YouTube channel. And I will never take that off there. And I used some weird software, like free software, while I was in Iraq. It took 3 days to upload. It was terrible, but it was the one way she could get to see the song in case something happened to me. Anyway, and Totes is much more muscular than too. So just anyway. That's how it, but now when they don't consider my channel to be a US channel, they consider it to be an Iraqi channel. And so when you look at how they release updates and release things, my channel doesn't always get it. So then my channel doesn't always get pushed either. I talked to a guy at YouTube. He was like, well, we're not going to admit this, but he goes, I'm going to talk to you about it. So that's why I've kind of created the other channel, the secondary channel. Again, I'm going to start playing some other things on this channel as well. But if you guys want to sub to it and see some other stuff, you guys can do it. If you don't, that's fine too. It's all good. Yeah, we'll definitely have to go over there in just a second. You know, though, what's funny about the losing to Rex twice, the first Rex loss, the second one I wasn't mad about at all. Like, I was already getting ready to play, and then he played up something different, so I just went with what he was saying. But the first one, I've never seen it happen in the history of I was like, wait, what? I've never seen anybody, and none of you out there can tell me that you've ever seen this. I've never even heard of it. I've never seen it. I've watched hundreds of ambulance videos. I've never seen anybody get thrown in the ring and the door shut. And it happened quick. I was like, what? I know everybody's at 100. So, like, or you know, they might lose some things. They'll be at 99 or 98. But, like, everybody's at 100. And so I'm like, that is a glitch if I've ever seen a glitch. I wasn't mad that I lost. I was mad about the glitch because I was going to play it up and do a whole bunch of stuff. Blaze played up a different angle because I was just like, I was a little taken back. I was like, God, we'd been waiting for this match. It had nothing to do with losing. We'd been waiting for this ambulance match. And then it was just like so lackluster. It was just like, huh? That sucks. Yeah, and now just think about the algorithm now. The algorithm in 2K25 adds 3 more layers. It adds 3 layers just to the moveset. I'm so excited. This is why I'm so excited about this. I'll stay on here all night just talking about algorithms, talking about the sliders, talking about, like right now we have 4 solid layers of sliders. There's some other little things, right? But 4 really solid layers of sliders that we play with. And that's why everything is so different. Like, I had somebody's character come on, they're like, well, not mine doesn't do that in my universe. Yeah, well, I've got different sliders. Like, I've got really, and even though we changed the name from WCW, you guys see it in the background, TCW, right? And it's not Totes Championship Wrestling. I don't want to ever do that. But even with that, like, it'll always be the same show. I love how we do what we do. I love how it's done. The next step, now that they've got the sliders down, hopefully this works well. Now that they got the sliders down for the move sets, I believe the next evolution of sliders is setting up your sliders not for the game. Like, you could set them for the game all you want, but inside universe mode, you have to set your sliders for the show. So now I can have a hardcore style show. I can have a luchador style show. I could have, your normal WCW style show. That would be amazing. Hey guys, so you know this too. There are people that I'm going to be uploading, but what I'm going to do, Witcher's a really good example. I'm going to upload, when I do it, a very base looking version of Witcher. It'll have a face scan. It has all the stuff, right? And then I'm going to just upload a very basic, the moves, everything else is going to be on point. But the look is not. It's going to be up to the creators that use Witcher, that use Digital Dogs, that use, Totes going to be looking good. Totes always be looking good. And then I'm going to change the look for WCW. That way, she looks a certain way in WCW. She'll look a certain way in the SSU. She'll look a certain way for Goddess. She'll look a certain way for Blaze. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be good. Yeah, Sammy Shaw, I'm excited. All your characters I get really excited about. Sammy Shaw keeps really progressing. I think in the next couple months, Sammy Shaw is going to be dialed in. And Sammy Shaw only looks this way. Matt Storm only looks the way he looks on my channel. I redid all of his tattoos. Gave him a face scan. He looks similar in other shows, but he only looks the way he looks on mine. Which I think that's important. I think when you come in, I think like what Goddess does is amazing. I think what Blaze, what Solo, what everybody does is amazing. And I think those wrestlers have that look for that universe, for how they do their thing. And I think that's really important. So it's really good. Really good stuff. Guys, you guys could probably get me talking all night long about a lot of things, but we got to we got to check out Blaze's stream. We got to see what is going on over there. So I'm going to put it up in the chat. Goddess, you said Blaze is live right now. So use this, go over, and then just let's rate his stream and let's just tell him Totes just sent us. Totes sent us over here. Like, I'm going to be over there too. So, oh, hold on. I do that every time. Yeah, you got to put the D if you're going to do it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Absolutely love it. But guys, look, at the end of the day, before we go raid Blaze's stream, thank you for everything you guys have been doing. Thank you for what we've done this year. Thank you for what we're going to do as this year continues. I hope you guys take some of the words that we say at the end of the stream and you really apply it to your life, because there's nothing more important than this. This is our escape right here. But there are people out there in the real world, and maybe you and me some days, where I need the encouragement, I need the help. You guys are amazing. It's an amazing community that we have in here. And just remember, show some people some grace. Show them some kindness and show them some love. Their actions do not have to reflect your actions. Don't let them have that power. They don't deserve it. Whoever they are. I don't care who it is. I don't deserve it. So go out there, do your thing, be the best version of you, lead by example, and let's start healing the world. Screw these politicians. Screw all of them. I mean, some of them are doing some really cool things right now, but you know what I'm saying. Let's let them stop dividing us. Let's start coming together. That's what this world needs. That's what the entire world needs right now. So appreciate all of you. Love you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Go check out Blaze. Let's do a little raid up on Blaze right now. And I'll catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.